H&M put out the ads for their fall line of sweaters, and Black Twitter is outraged again. What's up, everybody? Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. You know, I'm gonna start off by saying, for as much as Black Twitter gets mad at the alphabet community and the trans community specifically about getting outraged about things, they're turning into being just like them. I mean, like, it's the two groups are so much alike in the way that they complain constantly about everything. You get included, you're mad about the way you get included. You don't get included, you're mad because you don't get included. So it can't be both ways. You can't have things represented exactly the way that you want them represented, especially when there's no consensus even within either group about the way that things should be represented. Because what they're mad about is H&M put out their ads for the new fall line of sweaters, and it features a young black girl whose hair is, I guess you could say, not done, but not done is very subjective as far as I go, because I'm a person that has hair that doesn't always work with me. Right now, I slept in my hair. I'll get to that in a minute because it does kind of go with what I'm about to say. But sometimes you're like, my hair is done, and it's like, what's your idea of done? You know, like, is it to be flat iron? Because some people don't want to flat iron their hair. Is it to be curled in a way that looks more moisturized? Because that too, sometimes you don't feel like dealing with that. Sometimes you just want to wear your hair the way it is. And maybe in this situation, this little girl or her parents decided, look, we don't want to be flat ironing her hair all the time. We don't want to be putting perms in her hair all the time. We just want to let her be natural. So if you want to use her, this is the way her hair is. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail, and I didn't think it looked bad. You know, I think it looks like natural hair in some cases. Like, that probably is just her natural hair, and they didn't want to do a lot with it. Like I mentioned, my hair. Like, sometimes people will ask me either in DM, or sometimes they'll try to troll and be like, your hair doesn't look done, or maybe you should work on yourself a little bit more if you're going to be on camera. And I just feel like, why? If I'm going to shoot these in a way where they're comfortable for me, I'm not going to go out of my way to make sure that I try to look perfect every time I do them. Why would I do that? I don't live a perfect life. I'm not trying to be a perfect person in everyday life. So this is closer to the natural me. So this is what I'm going to do. I woke up. I went to the gym. My best friend Renee is at it again, sending me articles to try to piss me off, which I don't get pissed off, and she doesn't expect me to get pissed off, but sometimes she wants to hear my opinion on things, and I'm fine with that. But at the same time, if I'm feeling like saying something right now, I'm just going to jump on camera the way I am and do what I'm doing. And this might be the same for that little girl. It's like, okay, maybe she wants to have a long-term career in modeling and acting. So maybe her parents are like, well, let's get the booking people used to seeing you natural, so that you show up natural. If you decide to do your hair at some point, you know, maybe flat iron it or put something else in it or change up the style, then you change up the style. But you always have the option of showing up natural as the natural you. And they're like, okay, well, this is who we booked. This is what we booked. This is what we were expecting. Then you're not kind of catfishing people, because if you're in the entertainment industry, you know, there's some people that have headshots where you look at the headshots and then you look at them in real life, or they walk in the door and you're like, yeah, this doesn't look like you. So maybe they didn't want to have to live up to that. Maybe more people are feeling like being the natural them. And if a company like H&M is open to using people in their natural form, because people were just recently talking about that not too long ago, how people could be fired from their jobs because their hair wasn't considered presentable, where in some cases they're either wearing locks or they have their natural hair, and white America doesn't consider that to be professional. Well, if we want things to be considered normal or be taken as professional, even though they're not traditionally white American hair, then maybe we need to be more open to people looking different ways and accepting who it is they are. This little girl could be on her way to a very comfortable life of accepting who she is fully, and now she's got Black Twitter making it seem like there's something wrong with her being the natural her, which is supposed to be the opposite of what any one group is supposed to do. And I know some people are going to get mad at me because I've had people be like, why are you discussing black issues when you're not a black person? Well, because I live in the United States and I got to listen to people complain. So if I got to listen to people complain, I'm every once in a while have an opinion about it. And my best friend Renee happens to be black, which I've mentioned several times. And I only mention because sometimes she sends me stuff about black people or black issues or black Twitter. And then sometimes she sends me stuff about LGBT issues. And that's because she's black and I'm LGBT. So sometimes we talk about that kind of stuff. And if you have a problem with that, don't watch my channel, because unlike H&M, I'm not going to listen to your complaints. I don't really care how you feel about things in that way. If you got an opinion on the subject, I'm happy to hear that down in the comments. But as far as what I should and shouldn't be talking about, you worry about what you're talking about. You don't like my content, you make your own channel. I've already told people this, and this goes out to any group that has a problem with whatever I'm talking about. If you don't like what I'm talking about, this is YouTube. You have an iPhone just like I do, or maybe you have a Droid which shoots even better pictures and even better video, in which case you're going to put out better content than me anyway. So you get on that road, you start coming up with your own stuff, and you stop worrying about what I'm doing. If you guys have a comment on the subject itself, I'm happy to hear it. This has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.